Hey there yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Thanks for joining me today. Today's yoga snack is an intermediate flow and we're focusing on the myofascial back line of the body, so releasing tension along the whole back side of the body. Now it is an intermediate flow, so please do work with your body, not against it. Always lots of options in class. Remember that your breath is your barometer. We want to create space from the inside out with our expansive breath. So if you're overstraining and pushing too hard, the breath will become non-existent or certainly inhibited. So remember to watch your breath. 2 blocks here. I won't be using them, but if you do have blocks close by at home, do have them just in case you need them for some of the forward folds. And when you're ready, let's begin. Coming into a toe squat to begin with. So tucking those toes under and sitting yourself back onto the heels. Quite intense for most of us. You might need to move those little pinky toes to the side. If you need to lighten this, you can do so by positioning 1 block under each knee. By elevating those knees will help. Now, if you have knee or ankle injuries and the toe squat's not an option for you, just come to a comfortable seated position and you can still do the upper body exercise here. We're going to interlace those fingers at the back of the head. Gently press the head back into the hands and press the hands into the head. Inhale here. And as you exhale, look down, bring the elbows closer together around the spine. Inhale, lift the chin, move the throat forward, open out the elbows. Keep that resistance between hands and head. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. 1 more. Well done, yogis. Let's release. Come forward out of your toe squat. Feel free to give the feet a little pat. And from there, we'll come down onto the forearms. So positioning the elbows underneath the shoulders and taking a forearm plank. Once again, toes tucking under, straightening out the legs. Of course, if you need to lighten this 1 knee at a time, we'll come down into Sphinx pose. Otherwise, we're broadening the shoulders, rounding the upper back. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. And be sure to keep the jaw relaxed. Feeling a little tone in the back of your throat for Ujjayi breath. And step those feet in a little closer now, dolphin pose. Lift up the hips a little bit higher. And gently send your armpits towards your thighs. And just step the feet back just a little and then lower the knees down. Puppy pose. Reach the arms out in front, hands as wide as the mat. Lift the elbows and the palms, just the fingertips on the floor and the forehead. A little activation here through the shoulders, drawing them up towards the hips. Either stay there or take the hands to prayer above the head. And let's lower those hands down, lifting back up to tabletop. Preparing for downward facing dog, let's position the hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. Pinky fingers to meet the edges of the mat. Tuck the toes under, inhale, drop the belly, little back bend. Exhale to round the spine, and then lift up those hips, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on the next inhalation, And then as you exhale, plank pose, knee to nose, round the upper back. Inhale to press back. Exhale, knee to nose, ujjayi breath. And this fourth one is our last one. We'll step that right leg all the way through in between the hands, left knee to the mat, half pyramid pose. Take the hips back, straighten the right leg. Now, of course, you can use your blocks here if you need to. Option 1, you'll stay upright here, gently guide that heel back a little. Option 2, sit back onto your left heel, take the hands behind you and allow the back to round. Again, still gently anchoring down through that right heel. Breathe into the back. And let's walk those hands forward now. Lifting up the left leg. Either keep the hands on the floor here, left foot is dorsal flexed, otherwise hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the heart, warrior 3. Press the palms together, draw the shoulders back onto the spine. Relax the jaw. Be with your breath. Next inhalation, come all the way up, lift up that left knee. Option 1, chair pose. Option 2, one-legged chair, left ankle to the right knee. A little flexion there through that left foot. And you can either stay here or you can fold forward, hands to the blocks or to the floor. Right leg will straighten. Breathing into the outer left hip, wherever you are. Let's slowly return, coming all the way back up, lifting up that left knee and lower down to the floor, feet hip width apart. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Stack the palms on your low back. Half lift coming up, look forward. Exhale to fold, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on the inhalation. Plank pose, knee to nose, exhale. Inhale, kick it back. Move with your breath. And this fourth one, stepping through. Half pyramid pose, right knee down, hips back, straighten the left leg. So if you are staying here, then feel free to lift the tailbone just a little. Otherwise, sit back onto the heel, allow the back to round, fold over the leg. Walk the hands forward, warrior 3. Coming all the way up, either chair pose or one-legged chair. Either staying upright or folding forward. And follow the next inhalation, coming back up, lifting up that right knee and lower down. Well done, yogis. It's just started raining here, so you might pick up a little bit of that noise in the background. From here, we'll bring our hands to the heart. Step your left leg back, 45-degree angle, getting ready for warrior 1. And let's have the feet hip width apart, not our traditional heel to heel alignment. We will be coming in and out of a forward fold, so if you think you need your blocks, you can bring them over either side of that right foot. And when you're ready, we'll begin with our hands at prayer. On the inhalation, bend the right knee, open out the palms, little back bend. And then as you exhale, round the spine, bring the arms forward, look down. Inhaling, arms up, warrior 1, press into both feet. And then as you exhale, straighten out the right leg. Continue to press into both feet as you fall forward, either hands to the blocks or the mat. Half lift as you inhale, look forward. Exhale to bow. Next inhalation, bend the right knee, lift the arms up, warrior one. And then as you exhale, hands to the heart, straighten the right leg. Well done. Let's do two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, looking forward. Exhale, bow down. Warrior one as you inhale, strong in the legs. Exhale, hands to heart. Last repetition, we're going to hold the forward bend at the end. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come up halfway on the next inhalation. And then as you exhale, settle down into the pose. We want the palms to be flat, so do use the blocks here if you need to. Now, because our feet are a little bit wider than our traditional pyramid pose, I want you to line your sternum up with the center of the mat rather than over that front leg. Gently press into both feet. A little bend in that front knee is good, especially if your back is a little fragile. Gently press down through the palms and try and slide them forward. And then simply invite a deeper breath into the back side of the body. Can you puff out your back with your breath? Well done, yogis. Look forward, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale to bow, belly to thighs, hands to calves. Then as you inhale, squat. Bend the knees, drop the bottom, lift the arms. Let's stay here for a breath. Then one last inhalation. And as you exhale, press to stand, hands down, hips forward. Well done. Let's do that on the other side. Hands to prayer, right leg back. Position those feet, hip width apart, 45-degree angle on that back leg. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, round the spine. Arms up as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Half lift. Press into both feet as though you're stretching the mat. Warrior one as you inhale. Exhale, return to the start. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Warrior one. Hands to the heart. Last round, holding our forward bend this time. Inhale. Staying down. Lining the sternum up with the center of the mat. Even effort pressing into both feet. Palms gently tractioning. Press them down, slide them forward. Allow the back to round. Breathe into the back. Well done, yogis. Lift up that back heel. Downward facing dog. Hold here as you inhale. Press your chest towards the thighs. Then as you exhale, slowly bring the knees down to the mat. Inhale, back bend, drop the belly, lift the tailbone and the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. One more, inhale here. Exhale, knees to the mat. Inhale, back bend. Exhale to round. Downward facing dog. See if you can gently lift up the very tips of your toes. This will begin to traction the spine just a little bit more. Then next inhalation, come forward into your plank position. And we'll chaturanga down to the mat. Let's take the arms out in front for a Superman cobra. Keep the elbows and the palms lifted. Press down through the feet. Try and drag your hands back. And let's lower down. Make a pillow with your hands, crocodile pose. And a little bit of nerve flossing here. So we're just going to alternate heel to bottom. Find a little sway through the hips. And if you're ready to move on, you can relax those legs. Roll over onto your back. So a few choices from here, yogis. We will be exploring our shoulder stands and our plow pose halasana. If that's not an option for you today, if you have concerns with your neck, your shoulders, or if you're in your first few days of menstruation, then you might choose to rest with your legs up the wall. Or if you've got your blocks, you can either have one under the bottom, maybe two stacked on top, and then simply lift those legs up. And you can rest here for a few breaths. Otherwise, I invite you to come on up into your shoulder stand, taking knees towards the forehead and rocking your way up. Bring the elbows in. Make sure the forearms are parallel. Firm down through the arms. Move the sternum towards the chin. And to engage your core, shorten the space between pubic bone and belly button. Relax the jaw. Option to stay here, or on your next exhalation, lower the right leg overhead only. It may or may not meet the floor. Then as you inhale, lift back up. Exhale, left leg overhead. Inhale to lift. Slow movement, slow breath. We're doing 3 on each side. And then feel free to bring both legs overhead. Now, if your feet don't touch the floor, that's okay. Just keep your hands on the back. If they do meet the floor, you can either release the hands away from the back or even reach for your feet. So the legs are straight here. Try and press the backs of the thighs up towards the ceiling. You are in the deepest forward bend you could come into. Be sure to breathe into the back. Let's take the hands back to the spine for support. Lift up the legs. Return to your shoulder stand. And let's roll out of the pose. Lower the knees towards the forehead and gently lower down. When you come down, just take a moment with the knees bent Interlace the hands and take the hands behind the head. And just rest there for a moment. If you're on the blocks, you can come off the blocks when you're ready. And if you have no concerns with your neck, we'll practice our fish pose next to counter stretch through the neck. So for this position, your hands will come underneath the bottom, palms are down, straighten the legs. Press through the balls of the feet. Bring the elbows in close to the ribs, and you should feel your shoulders shrug up near the ears. Then we're simply going to bend the elbows to lift the upper body off the mat. Then allow the head to gently drop back. There's no weight in my head, it's all in my arms. We're here for just a few breaths. You might even like to practice your lion's breath. You'll inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, tongue out wide. 2 more. Tuck in the chin and lay yourself back down. Release those hands. We'll take a brief Shavasana before our next pose. Just observing those subtle effects on the body. And before we take our final Shavasana, we will do a little twist. So you can use your block here to support the legs in your twist. Block over to the right side and we'll take a hold of the left knee. Left knee over to the right, resting on the block. Option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, you might like a quad stretch. Bend the right knee and reach for the foot. So bring a little back bend into our twist. Gently deepen the breath to deepen the pose. Your next exhalation, release the foot, return to your back. Let's change sides. Option 1, rest there. Only if it feels okay for your body, take the quad stretch. Right hand to the left foot. Remember to work with your body, not against it. Take one last deep inhalation here. And then as you exhale, return to your back. And let's move into Shavasana. Taking up as much space on the mat as feels comfortable. If you do have the 2 blocks, you might like to place one under each leg, nice and high under those hamstrings. It can be quite soothing for the hamstrings and the low back, keeping your bottom on the mat. Shoulders tucking under, palms to face the ceiling. As you close the eyes down, softening the forehead. the tongue and jaw. And for a brief moment, bring your awareness to the back side of the body, feeling the meeting points between the body and the mat. Take a deep inhalation and then pause. Hold the breath for a moment. And as you exhale, give in to gravity, softening into the mat beneath you, into the support behind you. And begin to inhale a little deeper now. Feeling the breath touch the nostrils. Wiggling toes and fingers. Following any urges to move or stretch. Feel free to roll onto your preferred side when you're ready. And coming up to seated whenever you're ready to continue on with your day. I hope that you enjoyed that practice and that you found a little more space in the back side of the body. If you have any class requests, feel free to make them in the comments below. The intention of this channel is to help cultivate your home practice. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Have a lovely day.